Zambia Blog Talk Radio.
Ready to take your nursing career to the next level? At Global Nurse Pathways, we're here to make your dream of working in the U.S. healthcare system a reality. From expert NCLEX exam preparations to personalized consulting and relocation support, led by the incredible Dr. Alice Nalondo, who holds a Doctor of Nursing Practice and is certified as a family nurse practitioner and a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. Our team delivers top-notch training to help you answer the NCLEX exam. Once you pass your NCLEX exam, we will connect you with the US-based recruiting agencies, setting you on the path to an amazing career in healthcare. Ready to get started? We're just a call or a message away. Call or WhatsApp us now at +1 346 328 1110 for the US or +260 961 875 081 for Zambia, or email info@embehavioral.com. Let's make your dreams come true together. Global Nurse Pathways, transforming careers, changing lives.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. It is Saturday, February the 26th, Saturday the 22nd, I'm sorry. Welcome everybody, and we look forward to having a candid and wonderful conversation here. I have an amazing guest, and we're going to discuss one of those things that we said we shall be doing moving forward in the year. What we shall be doing is we shall be featuring founders and people in the diaspora that are doing things in Zambia and making an impact. And that's one of my guests today who is here. So everybody follow us on ZBTR TV. We are on Facebook, Twitter, or X, and YouTube, and you'll be able to get the notifications as we go along. All right, let's go and start. And I'm looking forward to this conversation. All right. With me today, you can see that amazing gentleman with the amazing smile. Pastor Sam, welcome.
Thank you. This is long overdue.
Yes, it has been long overdue. The last time we did this was when we were on the phone, right?
Oh my God.
Many moons.
Yes. And you've reached out. I've been up and about, but thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You for being patient.
Anytime. I know you are busy all over the place. Running an organization back home and you're here, it can be, it's a mammoth task. And you are going to share some of those thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman you're looking at is Pastor Samuel Sikapizye. Is the founder and president of Operation iDREAM. Pastor Sam has got many years of pastoral experience to himself. He's an ordained minister. He's married. Him and his wonderful wife have got 2 kids, right?
Yes.
We can begin from there. How have you been? Are you guys in California experiencing this winter's thing we're having here?
We are in California. They promised us sunny California, but it's not sunny anymore. It's been raining. At times there's been fires, but we are good. We are not as extreme as you guys on the other side.
Oh,
weather
yeah.
is favorable, so we're thankful. We are thankful.
Here we've been beaten by, winter, and in Texas we are not used to those things.
No, not at all, not at all.
We love our 90 degrees.
Yeah, last year too was bad for you guys too.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're talking about Operation iDREAM.
Yes.
What is Operation iDREAM, Pastor Samando? Where in Zambia is it located?
All right. Of course, I was born in Mufulira in the Copper Belt, but
Oh, really?
yes,
Okay.
Ronald Rose Hospital.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my birthplace, Mufulira.
Oh, wow. So we have two Mufulira people here, right?
Two Mufulira people here. So, and then, but most of my life was in Ndola. So Ndola pretty much is my home. Born from teachers. My dad was a headmaster of Northrise Primary School and then Italy Primary School, and my mom was a teacher too. And so iDREAM is located in Ndola, not about 20 minutes drive from the city of Ndola, up in the rural Lumberland. That's where we are, along Kapiri Kabwe Road. That's where we are. Yeah. So the Masaiti district. Yeah.
All
so
right.
that's where iDREAM is located.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you pick Masaiti?
Growing up in Ndola, in the city, you are used to city life.
Yes.
And then very rare do you take a pivot and see what's on the outside. And we initially started our work in the city, Twapia, and but the majority of the kids, though poor, they're close to resources. They're close to resources. So when my mom had a piece of land in Lumberland in the same area, and then in communication, I was introduced to that area, and then I began to educate myself with that area, which we're going to dive more into, and that's how I pivoted that direction to kind of see the area. Yeah. So
why Operation iDREAM? What prompted this idea? I mean,
all right. So the background was so when one morning my mother picks up the call and calls me at 1 o'clock. Those phone calls from Zambia, and then say, "Oh, somebody's selling land." And then it says, we're gonna get it. How much? It says $2,500. I said, man, all right. So cut the long story short, got some money. I was in Zambia at one point. And then the idea was to go do the farming in that area, and then the harvest, take it to the market and support the work that we were already doing in the urban, in Ndola, city limit. But whilst I was there, I noticed mothers with young kids like 13, 10, 5, 4 years old among the people coming to cultivate the land. And then I asked the question, I say, hey, today is Tuesday. They're supposed to be in school.
Yes.
What's going on? And then they say, hey, there are no schools nearby here. And then the next school is on the other side of the highway. And we don't want our kids to be hit by a car.
To be crossing the highway,
The highway, yes. And I say, so how many kids are in this region? So we did an assessment, and I bought candy, I bought some juice, I bought some cookies, that how it goes. And then I was expecting maybe 20, 25 kids to show up, but we had over 200 kids show up.
Wow.
And then I would say, did you bust these kids out from other cities? I said, no.
They live in the area.
In the area. And then when I looked at that picture, I could see a lost generation in the making. Can you imagine 200 plus students, no education, and they'll be part of society? That was a scary, scary sight I saw. I said, hey, we got to get going. And that's why we chose that area. That this is a ripe area. They are all candidates for education, and let's do it.
How did you come up with the name Operation iDREAM? Tell us also about how this conversation whilst all this is going on, obviously your wife is involved.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You listen.
What type of conversation are you having?
I pick up the phone and say, "Hey, honey, there's a lot of kids here in the area. We need to start a school." Now, the problem that I have is, I know in the Bible they talk about patience and all that. That's not patience. Is not me.
It needs to happen now.
Yeah, the Lord has to hold me. Find somebody to hold me. I don't like to wait. I don't like to be in meetings where you plan over and over. So we said we need to have a school, and I knew she wouldn't hold me, and she understood how I operate. Brother, in a couple of days, I asked the team, a few people, to cut timber, to cut wood and grass, and we created a thatched structure.
Okay.
And then I says, okay, we need to find somebody to teach these kids. I said, could you find me a high schooler who's kind of dropped out of school, or they just graduated school, that can count up to 10? That was a qualification as a teacher. So the interview was not much demanding. If you can count and can say A, B, C, D, you are hired. And then we got 2 girls in the area.
So where did this get? Okay, so let's do this. So this is what you're talking about, right?
That's what I'm talking about, and that's
so the wood that was cut and the grass and everything. This is the first.
That's it, and those were our first students. And that picture that you see, those students in that picture, they are in high school, all of them.
Wow, wow! And that was that lady standing in front of them. That was your first
teacher.
The first teacher. Is she still there?
She's still there, and she was untrained at the time. Now she has gone through training. She's now a qualified teacher.
Wow.
Wow. But again, she was among the first people who came to do piecework and cultivate the land. And she spoke a little bit of English, and she caught my attention, and I said, "Hey, listen, let's start from there." And that's how the school started.
Wow.
And we bought a giant pot. I bought them some milling meal, and I bought them some pounded ground nuts for them to make porridge, to say, hey, at least we can make porridge every day for these kids. So they would come, have porridge, count their 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10, A, B, C, D, and then school was over. And then we started again the following day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So obviously, this is happening in rural, in Masaiti area, Zambia.
Yes.
Talk about what you needed to do for you to move forward. Of course, you had to deal with the Ministry of Education. You had to deal with a lot of other things, and talk about navigating the process of registration, incorporating, and getting that go ahead, and what it really involves.
It's very funny because we are dealing with the United States of America, and then you're dealing with Zambia.
Okay.
So you have to play both ends at the same time. You have to understand this part of the United States of America, and then this part of Zambia. So I'll be going back and forth.
Back and forth. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because for clarification purposes, Operation iDREAM is a non-profit registered in the US.
Yes.
Is it registered in Zambia as well?
Yes. And then in Zambia, it's registered as iDREAM Zambia.
Okay.
And then I'll explain why.
Okay. Go ahead.
So the 2 entities, Operation iDREAM USA and iDREAM Zambia, are kind of like sister organization, though we own both of them, but the registration is separate for the purposes of each one holding its own risk. Okay. If there's a problem in Zambia, they deal with their own risk. The US is not attached to it. If there's a problem in the United States legally and all that, this other one is not affected.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's very important. You do not want to attach them immediately. Okay. Once you develop the muscle, once you develop a stronger infrastructure, then you can connect them, and then they hold the risk. So from the US standpoint, Vision is not what you put on the piece of paper. What you put on your piece of paper is what's in the heart. Okay. You begin to write your heart on the piece of paper, and then you begin to craft your strategy, your objective, and all that. But again, seek help, because what you are doing has been done before.
Yes.
Yes. So don't try to cut the corner to try and Google it. Thank God for Google. Thank God for everything. But find a live human being that has done it before. They will tell you the pitfalls, the mistakes they made. And I lost $1,000 just to register an organization. You know. But until I found somebody who walked me through the process to say, hey, Sam, you can actually do it this way. So that gentleman helped us, worked with us. A small fee, don't be afraid to pay that fee. A small fee to help you navigate that and do your paperwork is good.
I think that's where the challenge is. We do not want to pay that small fee. We want to, I'm glad you said that.
Fee. You have to pay that fee and document whatever is coming out of your pocket, because you don't have any money. No matter how small it is, $20, $50, $100, document that. That's going to be categorized in your accounts as capital.
Yes.
So categorize that. And then there's two things that people need to understand also is you need to understand that it's one thing to register in a not-for-profit in the United States, but it's another thing to have it tax exempt. You want that tax exemption certification with the IRS because the donors want that receipt. A lot of NGOs or nonprofit in the United States, they have gone online, paid their $45, and they have a nonprofit. They think they are tax exempt. No, you are not. You need to go through that process, get your determination letter from IRS. Then you are set to receive money. Both entities, whether you are tax exempt or non-tax exempt, you can receive funding, but you cannot give the giving statement to the donor based on how you qualify. You need to look into that. So we got that going, and then we swing to the other side in Zambia to set up a school. It is very funny. They want you to build the school, start the school. They come and inspect the school. Then they say, okay, you can go ahead. Now, suppose I've done something wrong.
I like that. Start the school and then they tell you.
Suppose I've done something wrong. Are you going to say you can't start the school? So it was one of the most funniest thing I've ever heard, but that's the way they do it.
Okay.
You can't just register, be approved, and then start building. You have to actually start, set some preliminary, I don't know. But again, there is somebody in Zambia that have done it before.
Yes.
They know the process. Pay a small fee.
There you go.
Sit down and then let them walk you through the process and get it going.
Wow.
Now, in Zambia, there is Registrar of Society, there is PACRA, and then the NGO registration.
Yes. Three things.
Yeah, 3 things. Okay. So a lot of people go, Registrar of Society. Where, and no. Who goes there? PACRA, who goes there? Registrar of NGOs, who goes there? You want to understand all these entities and register in those areas. If you're going to set up an NGO with the option of doing business, you might want to go to PACRA as well. So those are certain things that they need to understand. Put your documentation in order, make sure that they are all set and you're ready to go.
Thank you, Brother Sam, for saying that. I thought that we should take time for you to talk about that, since you've done it, and because I think that's one of the challenges we are facing as diaspora people. And then we utter these words and say, oh, they are just corrupt in Zambia. They just want to eat my money, It's,
No, absolutely. It's a good topic for NGOs and the diaspora to understand. And the key word I think that should come out of this talk that we're having is seek help. And we are here to help nonprofit navigate the process.
All right. So the school is built.
The school is
and
built.
you
Finally.
and they come. How long did it take for the school to be the materials, the contractors? How did you find a contractor, or how was the work supervised?
Okay, so there is this thing that you cannot supervise the work outside. Yes, it's a risky, but at the same time, if you have the right people, the right person, the right person for the work will go smooth.
Yes.
Remember, right now, iDREAM has 40 plus full-time workers, that we are managing, So if you have the right people and the right person, those becomes your connection. And, you articulate your vision correctly and you work within your means. All right. So the aspect of building buildings,
Yes.
you have to building buildings and making progress comes. We exist in three things.
Okay.
We exist to address three problems. No matter what problem it is, it's all categorized in three things, in three categories of problems. There's the first problem that we call the crack. The crack is a problem that you and I go through every day. And then when we need to see that, we just fix that problem with the help of your wife or your kid or a friend. They fix it for you, they help you fix it, and you're done. You don't need to establish an NGO to fix your to fix the problem, And I'm glad for that response. You laughed because you can't say, "Oh, I've got an NGO to fix this problem that I have in my problem." No, you don't need an NGO. So the second set of problem that we have is the gaps. From the cracks, we have the gaps. The gaps are going to need much more than just your wife or your friend. It could be another guy who have a business that that understand you properly, and all that they can come in and not fix the crack, but fill that gap for you so you can continue. They will help you. But the third set of problem that we're dealing with in nonprofit is the cousin. A cousin you can't fix. A cousin you can't feel. You have to bridge it. You have to bridge you have to bridge the chasm. The chasm is so wide. It's so, the opening of the chasm in the ground, it can be so wide that you can try to fix it with duct tape. It's not going to work. You can try to fill it with imagine you want to fill the Victoria Falls, with buckets. You could start, but it's going to happen. If you want to go to the other side, the only way to do that is to create a bridge.
Yes.
And to do that, it's going to have a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of expertise, a lot of input to make that work. So when we call people to help us in our nonprofit, we don't call them to help us fix the crack. They'll laugh at you. We don't call them to say, "Hey, come and fill the gap." They'll be like, "Oh, okay. How did you end up here?" But again, if you invite them to bridge the chasm, they'll say, they'll get interested in doing that. Now, once you call a donor to help you bridge the chasm, they'll be interested in filling your gap, and they'll be interested in fixing your cracks. You don't even have to ask them. They'll automatically come in and help you. So the way we articulate the vision, first we had to build our first school by ourselves.
Okay.
That's our
from your own. When you say by yourself, from your own resources.
From our own resources, we had to find some guys to go and cut wood, cut grass, bring the community, buy our own pot and all that. We did not run to the donors who say, "Help us cut wood, help us cut the grass, help us." No. We did not do that. So we built our school. And then we added pencils. You've seen those blackboards there. We had to find a wood, a thing, paint it with black, and bought some some chalk, and then we had to go on, buy our own books. Now, when we invite them to the table to build the school, we have a reference point.
That's right.
We have a reference point. And then we are able to explain why we need a permanent structure. And that permanent structure is also, we will tell them the things that we are able to do by ourselves.
Yes.
We're going to bring and hand down the anthill, make the bricks. Can you help us to do this? And then burn bricks and all that, and then you move on from there. Always show the donor how you're doing it by yourself.
That is important.
Yes, how you're doing it by yourself. Otherwise, they'll laugh at you even before you start.
Because you can't present them open bush or ground or
no.
Well, in Bemba would say you can't just present Impanga and say, no. I want to build a school here.
Give me the money.
There has to be you need to show something.
You got to show them how you are helping the community. What are the things that you're already doing? And because that's your passion, they have to see your passion on the ground.
Wow.
They have to see your vision on the ground. They have to see vision in the people you're dealing with. If they can see vision in what you're doing, they will give into vision. Remember, donors don't give to buildings, they give to vision. When they give you, it's because they believe.
I love that. I love that. I hope everybody caught that. Donors don't give to buildings, they give to vision, right?
They give to vision. When they give you $500,000, it's not because they like the project. No. They like your idea, they like your vision, they like where you're going. They're giving to you as a visionary to make that happen.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are some of the things that we have happened. But again, if you follow our story, you're going to find that each building has a story. Okay. Each building has an element of education to it. So those are some of the things that we've done.
Everybody watching, you heard Pastor Sam saying, if you want to follow our story, the website for iDREAM is scrolling at the bottom, so that as we are talking, you can go there. And there's a lot of things that are happening there, and he can't cover everything in our conversation today.
Absolutely.
The idea is just for us to share what iDREAM Zambia is doing, how they are, just impacting that community down there. So you make this first building, okay? Yep. Obviously, things are now changing.
Yes.
They are moving in a different direction. The minister, who comes from the Ministry of Education to inspect? What do they call them?
There's a department called the DEBS, DEBS, the DEBS.
Okay.
It's funny that I just know them as abbreviations. There's DEBS and CESO. Those are the keywords that you're going to be hearing. DEBS and CESO. These are the two entities from the Ministry of Education that will come at different levels of inspection. There's the first inspection is your open shop for school education. And then there'll be another group of inspectors that are going to come to certify you as an examination center, because you can open a school, but again, you cannot hold exams at that school. You have to send your student to another school to write exams.
Really?
Yes. So you have to be certified, meaning you have to have a strong room where the exam papers have to be kept. It has to meet certain criteria. They have to come and inspect that.
So during the construction process, you need to have that in mind when you are building.
Yes.
And if you didn't consult, you wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know, and it'll cost you. It'll cost you, like it did. We were just focused on building a building with students, but again, we realized but thank God, when we built the church, it had this one room which was suited for exam papers.
As I said, okay, all right.
Yes, yeah. And you consider all those aspects. You consider how many toilets you're going to have for how many students, So in the first, second, and third year, they'll be lenient on you. They'll be lenient. Students can come without uniforms. They'll be lenient. Students can go and use bath toilet and bath latrine. They can they'll be lenient on a whole lot of things. But as time goes on, the grace is that you're at the end of your grace and say, hey, you gotta put your acts together.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
What was the first building that you built?
The first building, funny enough, you've asked that question, is the building that I have not even shared yet to you. Is we have two round buildings. When you just enter iDREAM, these are round shaped buildings with a thatched roof, kind of village type of roof. Those were buildings that we built for housing, for people to come in to stay when they are constructing and all that. That was the first building. And then the second building was the of course, it was a school and the round buildings. And then the school was the first building. We cleared the ant hills. We made our clay bricks. We cured them, burnt them, and we started building our first school.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So all this work is going on. So first building, and you already had students, right?
We already had students, yes.
And I'm sure as you are going along, the number of students is growing because now they've heard about this place. Yes,
yes, they are coming and we are turning away. Yes, we were turning away. Right now, yesterday, there's one girl, she needs to enroll in grade 1 and they can't allow, she can't be enrolled because we have hit 40 marks.
You don't do that 50, 60 thing of in class, no.
We were at 25, 30, and then the need was great and the quality of education is good at iDREAM, and then we went at 40. But again, the more you increase the number, the quality of education goes down.
Yes, that's true. That's very true.
So, but again, I don't like to turn away students.
So what are you going to do with that one since the number has reached 40?
We are in discussion. First and foremost, I have to take this fight with my wife.
No, that's a good fight.
Yes,
that one won't lead to excommunication in church.
No. And then we need to discuss. Actually, before we came on live, we were actually discussing on that one to see how we can help the little girl. But again, there's many more that are going to come, wanting to come and be admitted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one first teacher that you hired, there were two, right?
There were
now
two, yeah.
You built this first building. How many classes do you have?
Yeah. So the first building had 8 classrooms.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Pastor Sam is. Those things happen. We can take a break here. I want to show you something that I did last week about organizations doing stuff in the diaspora. I want you all to see this. This is very important. I think this is very important as Pastor Sam is working on coming back. Ooh, where is that now? Okay. Standing with that, just watch this. This is where this conversation is coming from. Like I said, every month we'll be featuring a diaspora run non-profit, so that they just like showcase the type of work that they are doing in the diaspora. I want you all to look at this. All right, we are back, and every month we'll be featuring one of those organizations that you see on that banner there. Pastor Sam, you were saying something. You were explaining something.
I even forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, but we're talking about the. I think we were talking about the before we got interrupted about the school that we have. We just started building it.
Yes.
And yeah, we had 4 classrooms, whilst we were finishing up the rest. And that's where it goes back to when you are doing something and you're showing effort in doing something with what you have, the limited that you have, people get to see vision.
Yes.
That, okay, they're finishing up these 4 classrooms. There's this other 4 that needs to be done. It's just on a foundation level. They jump in to make that happen. Now, they look at the thatched building that you had. They look at the teacher that you employed. They look at the porridge that you cooked. They look at the 100 of students that are coming in. Guess what? They buy into the vision. Let's get this school done quickly.
Because the need is great.
The need is great. They see your heart, not just paperwork. We are so good at with the coming of AI to tell, make me a policy, boom, make me the constitution,
know, right?
boom. I mean, yeah, it's good. It's all good. It makes things easy. But at the end of the day, make sure your heart is reflective on the piece of paper that you're writing, because that's what's going to be on the ground.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So what process do you use to recruit teachers and other members of staff? Because you're going to have to talk about the activities that go on at iDREAM. It's not just a school, there's a lot. So what process do you use to recruit your staff?
All right. So first and foremost, we want to empower the community. We want to empower before we came, there were hardworking boys and girls that really wanted to get out of poverty by educating themselves and all that. They've gone to school, but they're back in the location. There is no schools there. So first and foremost, we want to ensure that those that are qualified within the area, we give them the first option to apply as teachers. And then for those that are lagging behind, we have what we call community development programs that helps young people who are past elementary school age and whatever to get back into the workforce. We help them to be employable. If they are teachers, we help them to be certified. And then they do that. Right now, there's very few, so we go again. You seek help for those who are already doing what you're doing. A few miles away from iDREAM, there is a ministry called Grace Academy. We consult them. We ask them. As a matter of fact, today our team was at Grace Academy to go for knowledge sharing to find out what's working, what's not working, about workers and all that. We collaborate to ensure that we learn from what they're doing good. So we spray our nets and all that. And for positions that we can't fill, we open it up to the nation. So we just employed our first qualified bookkeeper and from Lusaka. So he moved from Lusaka with his family to Ndola, and now he's working. So that's what we do.
All right. So basically, from what you're saying, considering where iDREAM is located, there is housing also provided, I presume.
Well, that's the kind of we're still trying to patch that. That will be our next project, iDREAM, to facilitate housing for our staff. Decent, but again, where there's vision, you find a way to make it happen.
Yes.
We're now collaborating with local small holdings in the community that have maybe it was a store, they converted into housing. It was a house, they converted into housing just to service us. So there are some businesses that are popping up around iDREAM to service
the iDREAM community. You call it village, right?
Village, yes.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. So we are seeing that again. We're going to be improving services so that not everybody wants to live in a little room forever.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we improve their quality of living, housing, then it will increase quality of workers in around iDREAM. Right now, we have transportation that move from Undola to iDREAM on a daily basis.
Oh wow!
Yes, we have invested in a minibus, a Hilux that brings the staff that live in Undola.
That live in Undola. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Amazing.
Right now, it's costing us some money, but that for now we're doing.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
It is worth it. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Like I said that from my looking at what iDREAM Zambia, the village, the way things are there, what sort of programs? And because I know it's not just an elementary school.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So tell our people watching what sort of programs and activities encompass the center. What goes on there?
Okay, so at iDREAM, of course, the first thing that we did was to establish the school. The school have 400 plus students from pre-K to high school. This year, we became full-fledged high school. That's what we have. And then with that comes with 40 plus full-time workers. So from the 2 that we introduced the teachers, the number has grown to 40 plus students. And then we have a health clinic with maternal services. A health clinic, yeah. So as a matter of fact, the first child who was born at our clinic has enrolled, is now a first grader at iDREAM.
I like that. I like that.
Yes, he's a first grader. It was a big celebration when there was a registration with a big book bag bigger than him going to school. So we have
let's talk. So if you have a clinic there, which means you have health workers amongst your staff.
Yes, we have 4 full-time nurses that operates the clinic. It's kind of the orange looking building that we have. So that's what we have. Babies are born, high malaria areas in our area. So we're doing that. And it's one of the best clinics in the area. You could walk 2 hours, you could drive 2 hours. Our clinic is one of the best clinics in the area. And
so within a radius of 2 hours, there's no other health center except the one at iDREAM.
They are there, but you're not going to find much. Yeah, the closest one to us is Fatima, which is St. Dominic Clinic Hospital, but that one it's overpopulated, and you don't go there unless you are referred to go there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right now, you can't just go straight to the hospital, to the major hospital. You have to be referred to the hospital.
Have to be referred to there because there are many health centers in the area. Okay. Okay.
But no medication at the same time. So yeah. So iDREAM has stocked with medication at all times, and so people come in numbers. So we have the clinic. We have the standalone library, the only library in the area, one of its kind. The
library, this is the one, right?
That's the library, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got the reading room, it's got a computer room, it's got the kitchenette for the staff. We actually just launched that 2024, and that was a huge project. The only library in the area. It's beautiful, it's nice, we love it. And then on location, we have what we call the Mercy House. The Mercy House is a house that houses children that need one-on-one observation. And students that maybe they were hit by a car, or they've got a rare disease needs to be cared, or we are in collaboration with the Arthur Davison Hospital to bring kids such as that. So that's what we're developing, and we're helping. So we have online Mercy House. We have the Girls Dome. We understand that girl child, they go through so many headaches to just complete school. By the time they reach high school, the vouchers are washing, and then they fall pregnant, and that's sad. So we bring in some girls. Right now on location, we have about 15, 16 girls in one housing, and then we're going to be building that move on. So we have a Girls Dome on location, launched last year. We have a skills training center. We want not only our students to learn applicable skills, but we want to give opportunity to young men that never had an opportunity to go to school. They're in the community, but they want to get to be employable. So we're going to be servicing both the iDREAM students and those in the community. So we have the skills training center that is thriving, and we're excited about that. We have a dairy farm, expensive to run.
I noticed that. I saw
Yeah.
that, and I was like, Sam,
Oh,
why
I love
you?
those animals. Those are my friend. Those animals are my friend.
So the dairy animals, I presume you get the milk from them to be used in the school, or do you sell it?
A small part, but we sell it. Yeah, we used to sell it to Parmalat, and then now we are selling it to Trade Kings. And then right now there's a small company that makes some stuff with it, so we sell them to them right now.
Okay.
Yes, so we have that, but we want to increase our beef animals as an educational program so that we can see how it goes. And then we have a citrus farm. Right now we have about 156 trees. That's our proof of concept. Now we know which one will do good, and then we're going to expand that to 500 trees.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so, and we want to do lemons for processing into jam and other products. And then Congo doesn't have lemons, surprisingly. So we'll be sending that so that we can begin. Our goal is to cut the budget that we send from the United States to Zambia. So half come from America and half from locally.
From locally.
Yes, so we want that to done. So citrus farm, and then we have church on location, and our African community are spiritually inclined, and we need to provide that. That's their source of strength. Yes, that's the building that we have. It's a beautiful sanctuary. We love it, and we have full-time workers there, and that run the programs, and we're excited about that. So yeah, so that's what we have at iDREAM.
Wow, amazing. So you see, Pastor Sam, the reason I ask you this question is because I wanted those that are watching this and those going to watch, whether it's a recorded broadcast or whatever, to understand how this project has grown from this to that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
It doesn't speak to the fact that these things don't just happen.
No, they just don't happen. They don't just happen. Now, the one question that they have is, Sam, where do you get the money? How do you find the donors? And I'll give an answer that is confusing. Money is not a problem. Donors are not the problem. There is a lot of money in this world, especially for those that live in the diaspora. There is a lot of money to go around, and there are people waiting to give that money, but they just don't know who to give and how to give. Now, if you can crack that code on how to find the person that will give and get that money, it'll be incredible. It all comes down to what we talked about. Donors don't give to building, they give to vision. If you are going to communicate the vision in a way that paints the picture, and that's what we are good at. If you go to our Facebook, you are not going to find a whole drama, a whole stuff happening. You will find vision.
On your on iDREAM on Facebook page.
Both iDREAM and MyDREAM. If you go to my personal page, you're going to see iDREAM and my family. Those are the two things you're going to find. You're not going to find, hear what Zuckerberg said. Oh, Amina Biden. Oh, Trump. Oh, you're not going to find none of that.
Talk about it, brother.
Those are good, interesting subjects to rack up, but you're confusing. If you are going to be running a nonprofit, you want to align your donors to vision.
Yes.
They need to see who you are, a family man with children and all that. Again, what you are about. They should look forward to click on your page and see, oh, what is he up to today? And know how to present yourself. I envision the program as when you walk into a building, at the reception, you enter and there's nobody in front to attend to you. The first few minutes you look around before they attend to you, you should be able to tell what these people do.
Yes.
You should be able to tell, oh, these guys are into engineering. Oh, they drill wells. Oh, they even help this. You should be able to tell the story before anybody speaks the word.
Yeah.
You know, when they come in, they will just have to confirm what you have already seen. You know, so when somebody come to your page, they should already know what you do before you even talk to them.
Wow.
That's what iDREAM is all about. If you come to our page and spend 3 minutes, you will know exactly what you do and what we are about. You know,
so that's where, as we are diasporans. Let's talk to each other here. I'm glad you said that. That's where we find ourselves in trouble, isn't that right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. There are times when I visited other people who say, oh, I run a nonprofit, and I visit their page, and then 2-3 seconds I'm put off. I'll go to the next one. 2-3 minutes. It only takes 2-3 minutes. I check your site and I say, man, and then I'm put off. Okay.
Oh,
it requires discipline in how we present ourselves as a diaspora. And by the way, right now we are available for you to call us to help you bring your nonprofit to the next level. We are available to work with you. You know, as you are well known, we spoke to ZRA meeting. I'm already in consultation with ZRA to help the diaspora to ship stuff to Zambia duty free.
Okay.
You know,
that's the email address, everybody. If you want to reach out to Pastor Sam, that's the email address right there.
Reach out, and we're going to talk to you about and all that. I mean, it's funding is there. You know, funding is there. People are there. When you come to our meeting and see our donors, the one thing that will stand out says, Sam, these people love you guys. They love you. They find the purpose for living while they're around because of what they're saying. So, you know, it's good. Money is there. You know, there are donors that we pick up the call to specifically ask, hey, Mr. Jones, we have this project for $30,000. You know, I was wondering how you can jump in on it. I can only be able to say those words because I've built a relationship with that donor.
Yes.
I'm not going to be requesting $500 to that donor. No. You know, because of the relationship. So there's discipline in building relationship and discipline in cultivating the language on how you articulate vision to donors. Yeah.
You see, you just addressed what was going to be my next question to you, to say, how can, as a diaspora community, harmonize our efforts? I know you can still say something about that.
Okay, so you are out there, you have a passion to win the world, to set up something, but you don't know how. You know, just like you, if I have bad credit, I say, hey, Mr. Kama, man, your credit is good. Can I piggyback on yours? You know, I become a co-signer on your credit, right? You know, eventually I'll have good credit. So what we do is do ministry with us. Come. You know, right now we have incorporated a young lady who has a passion for children with disability. iDREAM doesn't have that. So what they're going to do is they're going to hire one person. They'll be paying that person $150 a month to come at iDREAM and meet the needs of children with a disability at iDREAM and in the community. Within a year, they would have racked up mileage and experience on how to manage, and then they're able to go and then set up shop somewhere else.
That's right.
So as a diaspora, you could come in and be a part of expanding your vision with iDREAM. We work together, we mentor you, we help you run certain programs a certain way. You learn from what works with us. Then you can go and begin to expand in those areas. You don't have to study it by yourself. You don't have to go it alone. Seek help, you know, seek help. And we are here to help you, you know.
And that was when everybody watching, when Pastor Sam and I were preparing for this, that was the objective of this conversation, for him to share what they've been able to do at iDREAM over the years, and also this thing about the diaspora harmonizing our efforts, our initiatives. Ask. I'm glad you've emphasized that point. Ask. Pay a little fee.
That's it.
I was joking with a friend the other day, Pastor Sam. I told them, I said, I stopped this business of asking relatives to do things for you. I stopped that. Kudala. If I'm going to give my relatives money, I just tell them I'm sending you that for gas, for you to buy some Angry Lion and all that. I'm not going to send thousands of money to my relatives and say, can you please go and buy 100 bags of cement? No. I'm not doing that. I stopped that. Please stop that. You are just hurting your relationships. I mean,
that's it.
Pay a little fee. I've got a contractor that I use. I've developed a relationship with this young man, trustworthy. It doesn't matter how much money you give him, Pastor Sam, he accounts for it. Please, let's stop doing that.
One person doing the work and you trust them.
That's it. That's all you need to do. So let me emphasize this. The email is iDREAM at Operation iDREAM. That's not L in between N and D, it's I. Because you might end up entering it wrongly, and then you say, he's not responding to the emails, it was fake. And
there you go.
No, that's not. Let me do this. Maybe what I need to do is, let me just, in case, for the sake of those who are going to watch a recorded one, let me just do this. I'll just put a small I there to make it easier for the future. Did I do that right? Okay, yeah. We're trying to edit this email so that those that are going to watch this when it's recorded, so that you get it right, because we want you to succeed in whatever you are doing. Okay. I think that's better. Usually I put it in block letters, it's easy to read. So that it stands out. So the I's are small, all the letters actually in so. Please reach out to Pastor Sam. I mean, you've heard him. Reach out to him, ask the question. You've heard what he has said, his relationship with ZRA, and
absolutely.
All those things. And wow, my brother, thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you so much.
I appreciate this. This is fun. And everybody, please. So let's end with this. What's the future? What should we expect to see at iDREAM? What's the future outlook?
So at the end of the day, we want to be able. Right now, it's hard to find somebody in Zambia to say, "Oh, I used to go to that orphanage. Now I'm an accountant. I used to go." We don't have those numbers.
Okay.
The numbers we have is, feed the poor, and we feed the poor, and we address the crisis, and then we are done. But again, we're not into developing young men and women into the workforce, into the marketplace. We want them to. So at the end of the day, we want to ensure that we have those numbers of students that will say, I went through this, now I have this is who I am, this is what we want to create a program that is be born at iDREAM and be released from iDREAM into the workforce. We want iDREAM to be an environment that will support the growth of a child in all areas of their life: education, health, food security, that they may be equipped to become what God has designed them to be. So we want it to be an all-round place. My wife keeps on talking about training programs. Yes, the last piece of iDREAM is going to be training program where a child who was born at iDREAM can be trained into the marketplace.
Excellent.
And we're there. We're almost there.
Yeah, you'll get there. You will get there. Yeah. And it's amazing the work that you have done. Everybody, we're just making you enjoy an aerial view of iDREAM. So that's how it looks from the air. Thank God for drones, right?
Oh, thank God for drones.
Did you do this?
There's a young man in Ndola who has a drone. Whenever there's an update needs to be done, he comes and he does the drone for us, and it's easy for me to see in perspective where things are from the United States. When I'm discussing, I'm able to kind of chat things here. This is it. This is here. This is it, and we are accent. And then lastly is for the diaspora. You talked about harmonizing the work.
Yes.
When you travel to Zambia or whatever, it is okay to let us know, to say, hey, you want to go visit iDREAM, to go and catch the vision. We'll set it up for you. will make arrangement. They'll do a welcome program, and then you can walk in and just get energized on what is happening at iDREAM.
Excellent. Wow. Pastor
Yes,
Sam,
yes, yes.
thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our show today. Pastor Sam Sikapizye, the founder and president of iDREAM Zambia and Operation iDREAM. Pastor Sam, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this.
I'm excited. Thank you for your patience and thank you for reaching out. I know you are a believer in what we're doing in Zambia.
Oh yes,
thank you so much.
I've followed this work from many years, and I'm excited.
Many years. Yes. Yeah.
Bless you, my brother.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
All right. So everybody, that was our show for today. Like I've said, what we shall do is every last Saturday of the month, we shall feature a non-profit doing work in Zambia. And next week, I think we'll be talking about tourism. I'm going to have somebody from the tourism. I don't know what they call it now. I can't remember the name of my head. Okay. So we'll be talking to somebody from the tourism board of Zambia. All right. See you next week. And if you run a non-profit or not-for-profit, whatever the terminology is, don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying. Reach out or get in touch. I can feature you on the show. And this is the list of a few of the non-diaspora run non-profits that I know that appear. If your logo doesn't appear on this clip I'm going to run and you want to be part of it, let me know. We can always revise it. Have a good weekend.
Ready to take your nursing career to the next level? At Global Nurse Pathways, we're here to make your dream of working in the US healthcare system a reality. From expert NCLEX exam preparations to personalized consulting and relocation support. Led by the incredible Dr. Alice Nalondo, who holds a Doctor of Nursing practice and is certified as a family nurse practitioner and a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. Our team delivers top-notch training to help you answer the NCLEX exam. Once you pass your NCLEX exam, we will connect you with the US-based recruiting agencies, setting you on the path to an amazing career in healthcare. Ready to get started? We're just a call or a message away. Call or WhatsApp us now at +1 346 328 1110 for the US or +260 961 875 081 for Zambia or email info@embehavioral.com. Let's make your dreams come true together. Global Nurse Pathways, transforming careers, changing lives.
Zambia Blog Talk Radio.